Greg Draper, it hasn't been that long ago. We were talking in a press conference interview about what was going wrong because the team was on a poor run of form. Since then, turned it around, 3 wins on the bounce, won the plate. What's gone right?
It's a great question. Yeah, it's funny just how things change in football so quickly. It's certainly been a season of two halves, pretty much. Up until Christmas, unbelievable winning streak since Christmas. Don't know, lost count of how many games in a row it was that we lost for obviously various different reasons. But yeah, obviously to turn it around the way we have done towards the end of the season is brilliant. There was even in them losses there were some really good performances. I think probably what was really hurting us was just the amount of cheap goals that we were just gifting teams. And it's no surprise that I think the last 2-3 games, Izzy and Tia have been superb at the back, and it's no coincidence that when you get them things right from the back, it just breeds confidence into the rest of the team. So they've been superb, and like I say, getting that first win against Met a few weeks ago was massive, and we just kicked on since then. So I'm certainly not surprised because, like I said, there was some really good performances even in them losses. We just needed that win, and as you can see now, we're back playing the football that we're capable of, and looking to finish that off on Sunday.
And there was disappointment, of course, not to make the cut when the league split, but then being pipped by both Wrexham and Aberystwyth, ending up in the bottom half, going on to win the Gennaro Adrian Premier Plate. Is that somehow, Greg, a blessing in disguise, perhaps?
Yeah, I think given the injury crisis that we've had, it's probably been a blessing. Based on last year, we were desperate to make the top 4. And don't get me wrong, we still look at it like we've underachieved because we didn't achieve that top 4. But I think given the circumstances, given the number of injuries that we've had, I think if we had finished in that top 4, then the run-in of games against the opposition that we'd have had to have been playing week in, week out, given the injuries that we've had, it probably would have been a very grueling 6 games to finish the campaign off. So yeah, I guess all in all, it probably worked out for the best that we just missed out on that top 4. We've wrapped up 5th place very comfortably, really. So yeah, I mean it's worked out well. It's been a great chance for us to bring some really young girls into the squad. You look at the girls that have been playing, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds from the under-19s, and potentially if we'd have been in that top 4, it might have just been a step too far for them girls to be thrown in against. So yeah, we're really pleased, and it's sort of given us, as long as we can finish the job off on Sunday, it's given us a good platform now to sort of rebuild during the off season.
And it is the final game of the season this weekend against Pontypridd United. They're on an excellent run of form themselves when you consider their run of form in the first section of the season, the first phase. Be a tough game?
Yeah, it will be a tough game. Obviously got the long trip to contend with as well. But I remember when we played Ponty, the second time we played Ponty this season, when we beat them here, I think 3-1 at home. And they'd only, I don't know whether they'd picked up a point by then or not. I'm pretty sure they'd lost every game, and based on how they played in that game, I was very surprised that they hadn't picked up any points. They were, they got some very good individual players there. For whatever reason that they didn't pick up points, but it's certainly not a given that we're going to go down there and get 3 points. They're like I say, they're in probably the best form that they've been in terms of picking up points towards the back end of the season. So yeah, now it's important that we go down fully focused. A big thing for us now is the fact that pressure's off. In terms of, we've already got 5th place wrapped up, so the girls can really go down there and just enjoy themselves, and I'm sure that will leave us or stand us in good stead for to come away with 3 points.
And as far as specific form is concerned, we do have an excellent run of results against Pontypridd. The last 7 games, we've won 6, drawn 1. Do you feel that going into fixtures when you have that run of form behind you is a helpful thing? Or doesn't it really come into it too much? It's about the game on the day.
I think form definitely comes into it. Certainly in the league games. It's never nice when you look at Cardiff City. They've got a very good winning streak over us at the moment, and until we crack them for the first time, it's going to get more and more difficult each time. So yeah, similar. What we've done against Ponty previously. It's we're already full of confidence based on what we've done in previous results against them. So, but yeah, like I said, it's although we're confident, we're also mindful that we've got to do things where we have been, and we'll make sure that we do that.
And after 3 consecutive victories for the New Saints women, does that make the selection, the starting 11 in particular, more difficult on Sunday, or maybe not so?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. There's been, in each of those 3 games, there's been girls available for one game, then haven't been available for the next for whatever reason. So, and this week's the same. Girls that were available last week aren't available this week, but players who weren't in the squad are now back in the squad for this week. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of juggling around. Again, we won't make a decision on that until probably on the day. Once we've got all training sessions out of the way. So, but yeah, no, we're in a good, strong place. Caitlin Chapman's back from her concussion protocol now, so it's great to have her back available. We're in great shape going down there.
Craig Harrison often comments that the most difficult part of the job is picking the 11 in the sense of who do you leave out. Do you find that emotion as well, Greg?
Yeah, no, listen, it is by far the most difficult part of the job. It's never nice leaving players out, especially players who have been, a big part of the team and playing week in, week out. But, I think if we want to get to the stage where we're competing at the top of the table, then we need a squad of, 16, 17 players who are fully aware that, they could be left out of the starting 11, or, they could be left out of the squad altogether. And until we've got 16, 17 players who are all going to buy in with that attitude, then realistically, we're going to struggle to compete at the top of the table. So that's the aim going into next season, is to assemble a squad of girls who are all of that mindset, and then that'll give us a much better chance of competing at the top of the table.
And as far as next season is concerned, obviously when Sunday's out the way, you've got a certain number of weeks and months then to build for the upcoming campaign.
Yeah, no, it's good. There's a nice long off season. So yeah, we're just sort of finalising dates at the moment. It might look slightly different compared to last year, whereas we carried on training for sort of 3 or 4 weeks after the end of the season, just so we didn't have such a long off season in terms of the girls losing their fitness so quickly. That might change this year just based on the number of injuries we've got. So it might just be a good chance to shut down at the end of the season for a few weeks, get everyone settled down, and then come back in a little bit earlier maybe than what we did last season. So we're finalising all that at the moment. But the important thing is that we get everyone back to full fitness before we start pushing them hard again for next season.